Hello, and welcome to another First Impression video. I'm Drew Wilson from FreezeNet. Today we're going to be playing the 2016 game, FlatOut 2. This is the second game in this particular franchise, so I've got 10 minutes on the clock. Let's check this one out. And just as the theme of the this so far is that second kick at the can of this particular series. So yeah, I played the last game and a lot to be impressed by, I have to say. A whole lot to be impressed by. And so I was actually looking forward to this particular game. And now I'm doing this. Yes, I went past the menus, but I needed to do the testing to make sure there was none of that like black flashing thing that sometimes occurs. So far, so good. I picked, just like the last game, I picked the most expensive vehicle, thinking good base, but as a matter of fact, in this game, cars have their own statistics. So that kind of, I actually had to think about whether or not I wanted this one or another one, because one had more, like, more speed and another had more durability. So it took me a bit to think about, but I ended up picking up this one in the end. I'll go over that as I go along. But in the meantime, left control is your booster. That returns again this time around. Arrow keys is what you use to mostly control your vehicle. Up is acceleration, back is brake, and left and right, of course, is steering. And like the last game, ooh, give it all. That was I've heard this song played in another game. It was a Need for Speed game. I think it was Need for Speed Underground 2, if I'm not mistaken. Find out it's another game after I record, of course, no doubt, but that's my guess anyway. Because it's been a while since I've played that series. So, interesting to see that returning in another game. Boy, there's a little bit of fishtail in there. So, in case you're wondering how I'm getting Nitro Boost, as it turns out, like the last game, smash into opponents, smash into objects, that sort of thing, and you get some speed, you get some Nitro Salt. Those cones there, actually that's a lot of boost. That's much more than last game. So that's how you get boosts in this game. And a little bit more, I hate to say more fully realized, but I can't think of another term for it. Great big boulder, let's just pop it off like a piece of styrofoam. It's funny. But the other game, the tracks were a lot more like, had a lot of like turns and stuff, like it was just, yeah, there is actually some thought behind track design. So yeah, just about lapping the opponents. I guess all that knowledge from the last game helps. Okay, so top right hand corner, 400 credits. That used to be dollars in the last game. And now it's credits this time around, so a nice, more generic term. Kind of like Gran Turismo, actually. Gran Turismo actually did use credits for a few games, if you think of it. Race rewards, slam, power hit. So we do get some... We actually get some credits for that, for some combat. Best wrecker. So we get some rewards, too. Actually a bit like a Worms game, but instead of just titles, you actually get rewards for it. So fastest lap for 100 credits. We got that. And So you start off at the car shop, and you have different classes, but it's a little bit more obvious. You actually get to see the different classes in this game, and that's okay. So my car isn't actually here because I already bought it, but I'm curious to see if you actually collect more. Do you actually collect cars in this game, or do you have to? I think you do. You actually keep the cars. Interesting. Obviously, I'm sure you can sell it too, but upgrade shop. You can upgrade your car, use parts. Yeah, so that's actually, it's a little bit reworked. Engine, gearbox, exhaust, suspension. Actually, not so much. The categories seem to be the same. This is a little bit more reworked though, but definitely expensive. Can I upgrade my car tires? Oh, I can. Add a little bit of grip. A little bit overkill probably, but that's how you can show. That's how I can showcase that. Yeah, you can, but only one. The previous game, interestingly enough, had like 3 levels, like used, stock, and racing. So definitely interesting to see that that's actually changed. So there's actually series in this, as opposed to that little those branches that you saw. You can kind of play it any tier you want, any order you want. This is a little bit more based on like a championship mode kind of thing, it seems so far. That could change later on, I don't know. I have a feeling I won't be able to get to that in this particular video, but I'll find out later on after the video's over if it's just championship races. Okay, I didn't even see that second car coming. Just knew it was. I'm gonna hit it. Yeah, I think the opponent got that. Another thing too I noticed about these the last game was that it was a lot of dirt roads, so you kind of had to sort of figure out how to swerve well enough for different, especially in the harder difficulties, because it depended a little bit more on luck whether or not you're successful, but getting that perfect line was essential. It's a pit lane there. Interesting. I have a feeling it won't be used necessarily. I'll find out. Oh, I just missed that. Yeah, those little ditches with water in like in the last game with cars being so fast and corners being so tight, trying to find like any little advantage you can get your hands on was good. And I found that using those little ditches with water, it both slows your vehicle down and helps you turn into the right direction. So I ended up using those a lot on the later races. I'm not sure I'll be able to. I'm not sure that's going to be the same or not in this game, but I'll find out. There we go. That was too close. So far, so good. Yeah. And of course, I'm blowing away the competition right now, and that's mainly because of my knowledge from the last game more than anything else. But I actually like seeing early races be this easy because it allows new players, if they've never played the last game, then it allows them to get used to the controls. So that's actually what I like to see in a game, is that does the game give the player a chance to learn the game? And that adds up to the approachable nature of it. flip. Yeah, it's a little bit more condensed, the bonuses. So 20 points, you got the complete amounts. And cup reward, 900 credits for double gold. Congratulations, you have unlocked a new event, high jump. And that is part of the bonus games that you can get. But believe it or not, that is actually it for this video. So another good sign, I have to say. I was already having a lot of fun with this game, so I'm looking forward to playing more of this game, to be sure. So want to hear from you. Have you ever heard of the FlatOut series, which is basically the spiritual successor to the Destruction Derby series, as it turns out? What about, say, if you haven't heard of this particular series and you haven't played this game before, what did you think of it? Does this seem like an interesting game to you? Were the graphics pretty good? Because there's a lot of good things about the last game, the first FlatOut game, and it's definitely like that graphical quality is shining through in this game as well, which I found kind of cool. But yeah, if you haven't played this game before, what did you think of it? Do you think you'll play it? Is it something that's interesting to you? Let us know in the comments below. And so if you want to support us, there's plenty of ways to do that. First thing is that comes to mind is dropping us a like. Lets us know, hey, you're doing a great job. So any like is appreciated for sure. And we'll definitely keep going. More likes the better for sure. And it really motivates me to kind of keep doing these videos. Another way you can support us is subscribing to our YouTube channel, and that's and the cool thing about subscribing is that you can turn on notifications and get those real-time updates of what videos we posted. It's the fastest way you can find out. Say, we posted a new video, check us out. So yeah, it's a cool feature to take advantage of. So there's also our website. We have a full-fledged website, freezenet.ca, and you can check out our news, our music reviews, video game reviews. We have a full-fledged wiki. We have a couple thousand hours worth of music on there you can explore, and stuff that we might not even heard of. And very likely you might not have heard of before too. So it's a whole world of music you can check out on that part of our project, and we're gradually adding more content to that as well. So something we've worked hard on, and hope you enjoyed that. And if you want to more directly support us, you can do so via patreon.com/freezenet. Subscribe to a tier, and you can get cool new features as well. Like for instance, people who subscribe to a tier found out that we're playing FlatOut 2. So if you want that insider information and early access to our podcast, that's the way to do it, is through Patreon. And if Patreon isn't your thing, you don't want to subscribe, don't want the commitment, that sort of thing, don't worry, we also have coffee.com/freezenet. You can buy us a coffee and a little tip jar here, kick some cash over to you, and yeah, you can do what you can, and we can't do that commitment. That's the perfect way to do that. It's just one-time donation thing. And yeah, every dollar counts, and we'll do everything we can to stretch that. It helps our operations, it helps freezenet.ca, it helps our YouTube channel, helps out our podcast. So basically it goes to the operations of FreezeNet, so every little bit helps. But I guess that is all for now, and until next time, keep it cool.